fortunate to have them as friends. And I want to thank Dennis. I mentioned him quickly before, but so if you go to Dennis's site, it's in your program, 9 Muses. It's amazing. And he is so generously, tonight he's going to video it for us, so all the presenters can have a video of their talks. And I really encourage you to get a hold of him and actually do a formal sitting because it's really fun. And then, I wanted just to make sure that everybody knows that we have a Jay Ryan print for our raffle, and I don't know if you know Jay Ryan, but he is the coolest. And so we got that. And our good friend Jeff Prairie, who I don't know where he's sitting, but he sit right in front here, and he framed it and made it gorgeous for us. So thanks to Jeff and to Jay. And before I introduce Tony Sarabia, I just want to tell you really quickly, I know you're not here to learn that much about literacy works, but we work with about 50 different adult and family literacy programs across the city of Chicago. And normally we train about 800 volunteers that go into these programs and teach English as a second language and adult basic education. The Illinois budget impasse is hurting adult education really, really bad. Yeah. So luckily Literacy Works does not receive any state funding, so knock on wood, we're doing all right. But we're watching our programs really, really struggle. And so by supporting us tonight, you're going to be supporting them because we are really working to kind of figure out roundabout ways to help these programs during this really difficult time. So your generosity is extra special appreciated tonight. So thank you so much. And with that, I'm going to introduce Tony Sarabia. A lot of you probably know him from WBEZ. He's got the morning shift. Radio Land. We were lucky enough to have him last year, and we're super excited to have him back this year. So Tony Sarabia.
Hi everybody, thanks for coming out. I was lucky to finish my homework for tomorrow's show earlier today, so I get to come out and play, which is very unusual for me. And what a great space. Last year we were at the Hop Leaf, and it was a little cramped, so we got a lot of room. And we do have some of the presenters. You know, it's interesting that we're calling them presenters, not competitors, even though this is a friendly competition, but they're presenters, and we do have some presenters here from last year. I don't see the winner. I don't think she's here.
Yeah,
there she is.
Yeah!
Are you still teaching? She is a teacher by profession, by vocation, and by choice, I guess, right? There was someone who was a presenter last year, and I sort of wanted to dedicate tonight's performance to Jason Chin. Maybe a lot of you know or knew Jason. Very tragic, you know, a few months after this first event, he passed away. So again, I want to dedicate tonight to Jason Chin. You know, I talked a little bit about my book last year. It's funny that I do what I do because I was a terrible student. I never liked to read. And that's, you know, now the books that I read, it's always for work. I'm fortunate that they're good books. The latest book is Summer Cisneros' new book, so that's a plus for me. And there's another one about the fall of Leningrad and Shostakovich's classical piece that he wrote to sort of address that. But just briefly, you know, like I said, I hated to read, and we were on a huge family vacation when I was, I think, a freshman in high school, going to California in the big station wagon, and my sister was reading, Then Again, Maybe I Won't, and she was done reading, and I was so bored just looking at the scenery, and I picked it up, and I couldn't put it down. And it was really the book that changed my life, only because after that I thought, wow, reading's kind of fun, so I guess I'll continue to do it. So again, that was my book that changed my life. I'm really excited about hearing some of the stories, the 5-minute stories by a lot of presenters. And wow, this year we have a lot of people who are used to being in front of the microphone, a lot of performers, stand-up comics, actors, singer-songwriters, drummers. So we're in for a real treat. So we're going to start it off, and I have my little index cards here of the bios of the presenters. And the first one is Melissa Richelle. She's a stand-up comic. She's an actor. She's a writer. And her sets deal with relationships. Trying to find one, maybe trying to convince people that she's the one that your parents would like to meet. So let's bring her on up, and she's going to tell. She's laughing, she's giggling already. Is that you? Are you just giggling to giggle? Where is Melissa? There she is. Welcome, Melissa Richelle, and the book that changed her life.
Hello, hello. I actually was really lucky. I always loved to read. My parents were very smart. They said you don't have to do dishes if you're reading. So my brother never caught on. He was always doing dishes, and I caught on real quick. So, my book. He's just not that into you if he's not asking you out. Because if he likes you, trust me, he will ask you out. I struggled with that my whole life. I decided in preschool I wanted a boyfriend, and so I actively sought one out. I asked every boy in the class to marry me. And one said yes, but he's now married to someone else. So, I learned at a young age, men will tell you whatever they want to try to make you happy, but this book is great because I need it as a book so that I can reread it and just kind of give myself friendly reminders when I get carried away. When I was younger, I really had trouble with the idea of like, oh, let a guy come to you, you don't chase them. And I still struggle with that because I'm a strong, independent woman and I go after my goals. And when I was younger, my parents were on a trip with me and they said, you can't come fishing because you're a girl. So I stood in the river and I caught a fish with my bare hands. Just to prove them wrong. Thank you. None of them caught fish, by the way. It was, I won that one. But it's true, like, in this book they talk about all of that stuff, and after preschool, it just kept going. I reflected back a while ago on all of the silly things I've done trying to impress men, and I have a whole list, but I condensed it for you because I have 5 minutes. I was treasurer of Auto Club. Yep. I went to a LAN event. Do any of you know what a LAN event is? I still don't, and I went. I just know a guy I liked those, so I went, and it's just a lot of computers, energy drinks, and not paying attention to me. I was not a fan. I then decided to go to Ireland to try and recreate a romantic comedy. That was $1,000 whoopsie-daisy. And then I wrote a rap. Like, I don't know why I thought that would do it. It didn't. If we had more time, I'd do the rap for you, but you could book me independently and I would do it for you. So it continued, and I went on a bunch of dates that were mostly terrible, because really nowadays, as they say in here, you know, we've become a sloppy bunch of people. We say things we don't mean, we make promises we don't keep. I'll call you, let's get together. We know we won't. And on the Human International Stock Exchange, our words have lost almost all their value. And the spiral continues. And I would say that is so true now with dating. A lot of you look like you're married. Good job. You beat the online dating fad, because it's terrible out there. It really has just diminished the market. I feel like now online dating has turned it into like, we just put out the lowest bid to see what will get us sex. And that's it. I feel like God is doing one of those rat tests on us. And my generation just keeps hitting the button and swiping right. They do. I went on Tinder dates, because it's the thing to do. And I went out with a closeted homosexual. Yep, that's classic for me. I was a theater major, so. A guy with a chest tattoo that translated into fucking ass. But in Italian, so it's classy. And then the last one tried to touch my eye. Yeah, after a 20-minute speech about how beautiful they were and how he wanted to swim in them. And I was like, oh good, this man's gonna murder me if I leave the day. I will end up in a van and on the news for the wrong reasons. Totally wrong reasons. So it's very hard then as a woman to just be like, all right, come to me when like Taco Bell, the Brady meat, you know, is coming at you. It's really rough out there. But the point of this book is to just get over that. Just get over that and live your life. And I am very busy, but it's never been a enough to get my mind off of it. I went out with one guy for a while that would just text me like emoticons of a turtle. And I was like, well, what does that mean? Like, do you like me? Or are we moving too slow sexually? Help me out here. Can we use some words, please? And I was like, you know what? Screw him. I'm gonna date a fat guy. This fat guy's gonna text me back right away. And that's what I did. And it was lovely having someone actually seek me out and treat me nicely. But that didn't last, because I wasn't super attracted to him. But in the end of the book, one of the people writes into him like, how do you know I'll find someone else? And the author replies, I don't. I just don't see the point in being in a relationship that appears to be damaging and beneath you. You are worth more than that. So, if any of you are struggling with it, let's go get a drink and hang out, swap stories, but just remember, don't settle. Just don't. Just keep doing things that make you happy, independent of others, because you can't control it. You can't. So thank you very much, and Melissa Richelle.